Hi, I'm Leela from Vancouver, Canada. Please like and subscribe. I've been a pretty awkward kid ever since I can remember. It was always hard for me to open up to people, and it didn't help that they always found a reason to mock me.
Who did your hair today, Leela? Your cat?
It's purple shirt day at school. Are you too poor to get one? Feeling self-conscious, I was walking to the teacher's table to place my worksheet when I tripped over nothing and fell on my face. As the teacher helped me up, I elbowed her in the nose. Great. When Mom came to pick us up that afternoon, my brother Roma was grinning at me. He was 3 years older and born perfect. Good grades, great at sports, perfect hair. Heard you made a teacher's nosebleed today, Leela.
It was an accident, and it wouldn't have happened if you'd done my hair properly, Mom, or if you bought me a purple shirt. Everyone makes me feel like I'm so odd.
But the green shirt really brings out your lovely eyes, darling. And who called you odd? How dare they? You show me who it is, and I'll give him a piece of my...
No, Mom, let's go.
How about I learn some cool girly hairstyles from YouTube? Roma was always coming to my rescue, literally. Like this one time, I skateboarded right into the neighbor's new car, and he took the blame for it. Also, when I fell down a slide and took a girl down with me, he saved me from getting beaten up by the other playground kids. And if there was something Mom wasn't good at, he definitely tried to make up for it. Mom loved us a lot, but she showed it in her own funny way. She wasn't the kind who packed lunches or attended school events or helped with homework. That was all Dad. But Mom was crazy and fun. When she'd be in a good mood, she'd go over the top, cooking fancy dishes, buying us lavish presents, and even throwing crazy parties. Once when I was 12, I told Mom I was craving chocolate cake, and she drove me out to a bakery in another town that made the best chocolate cakes. But when our turn came, they were all sold out. What? I drove out for 2 hours and stood in line for 40 minutes.
Sorry, ma'am, but the old lady before you got the last one.
Mom ran after her and started begging her for the cake. Mom, we can come back another... I'll pay you an extra $50. Okay, $100. Come on, you old windbag, just give me the cake. The shopkeepers came to the poor lady's rescue, and then Mom lost it. She knocked over everything on their counters and then smashed a chair into the window. I'd seen her tantrums before, but this was the worst. She spent the night in jail, and Dad had to pay damages to the bakery. But it seems like he'd had enough, because soon after, our parents announced that they were getting a divorce. Roma and I would stay with Dad while Mom was moving to Seattle. Why do you have to go so far away? Sweetie, I need therapy to fix my mood issues, and there's a great center in Seattle where I can get help, and my sister also lives there, and I'll see you soon, I promise. But that promise kept getting pushed further, and months turned into a year. She was only allowed to make phone calls twice a week from the center, and I wouldn't miss those for anything. Our talks made me feel better, because otherwise, things weren't so great. Since the divorce, I'd become even more distracted and clumsier, if that was possible, and Roma was soon very busy with school, sports, and friends, and girls drooling all over him. Mom kept pushing me to try to make my own friends, so when a new girl joined in 9th grade, I decided to try. She was sitting alone in the cafeteria, so I walked over, trying to act cool. Hey, Candace, right? I'm sure you're feeling lost and it's so hard to make new friends in this place, so I can totally be your friend, and I know all the cool spots around here. There's the unused janitor's closet and the bathroom that's always out of order, and as I was waving my fork around, I suddenly sent some spaghetti flying straight into Candace's eye. OMG, are you trying to kill me? No, I'm sorry. And do I look like a fellow loser to you? If I want friends, I can have them with a snap of my fingers. I don't need, wait a second. Aren't you the girl whose mom went crazy in a bakery? What? No, I don't know what you're talking about. It is you. Your mom tried to snatch that cake from my grandma, and I was there for the whole thing. Well, that explains a lot. Candace spread the bakery story everywhere, and she really wasn't kidding about making friends fast. Soon enough, she and her minions were constantly finding ways to pick on me. Mom, can I come live with you? I hate it here. Dad and Roma are too busy, and everyone thinks I'm a weirdo, and now I've got these meanies after me. Just ignore them. When they don't get a reaction out of you, they'll eventually give up. And you're not weird, Leela. You're special. You think that because you're my mom. Okay, so when can you leave the center? In a few more months, darling. All right, I really miss you. I miss you too, love. Then one day, I came home to find Roma setting up the table for dinner, and there was an extra plate. Oh, good, you're here. Listen, Dad's bringing a friend over tonight, and I want you to be open-minded about it, okay? About what? But before he could reply, Dad walked in with a beautiful woman on his arm. Who's this? This is Karen, honey. We've been dating for a few months, and I thought it was time to introduce her to the family. Hi, Leela. It's so nice to... Dating? Excuse me, what about a mom? Leela, we got divorced 2 years ago. Don't you think I deserve to move on? You're unbelievable. I don't know how you thought some woman could possibly replace my mother. Mom was working so hard to become better, and she always said she wanted to get back with Dad. How could he just go and find someone else? Later, I opened the door to find food and a note from Roma. I know change is hard, but I'll be here for you when you're ready to talk. I didn't understand why Roma was so okay with all this, and I didn't even have time to get used to the idea because suddenly Karen was moving in. Anytime she tried reaching out to me, I just ignored her, but it got hard to do that with her redecorating the house and even putting up a giant picture of herself and Dad in the living room. Mom, please come back. This woman is taking over our lives. I still can't believe your father moved on so quickly. He forced me to join this therapy center because he said I wasn't fit to take care of you kids. And while I've been here all alone, he found a replacement. I bet she's younger and prettier, isn't she? No, Mom, she's ugly, and she could never replace you. She will never be your mother, Leela. Of course she won't. I felt so betrayed by Dad. Mom would need a job and a place to stay when she left the center, and I decided I'd start saving up to help her. I wasn't gonna live here with Karen. I started doing odd jobs for my neighbors, like walking their dogs, babysitting kids, mowing lawns, but my clumsiness always led to some disaster soon enough. After one of my neighbor's dogs ran away from me and got lost, I was officially banned. Then I decided to set up a cupcake stall outside school after hours. I was baking up a storm for my first day when Karen walked in. Hi, sweetie. You having a bake sale at school? Please don't call me sweetie. It sounds super fake. Okay, I won't. I'm pretty good at baking, you know. I can help. Gosh, why did you touch that batter? Ugh, now I'll have to throw it away. What? Why? Because you touched it, and I'm allergic to you, so probably other kids are too. Karen's face turned red, and she left. I didn't care. I hated her. My stall was doing great the first 2 days, and then I had the much-dreaded visit by Candace. Oh, you got into baking because of your mom, right? So you can just make stuff for her and she doesn't go crazy in the bakery again? Just buzz off. Wait, is she still in jail? Are you selling cupcakes to collect money for her bail? Suddenly, I snapped and lunged at Candace. I ended up giving her a black eye and got detention for a month.
What's going on with you? I never thought you could be so violent.
How could you know anything when you never paid much attention? If you had time for me like Mom does, you'd know that Candace has been hurting me for ages.
But Leela, why haven't you talked about this to a teacher or the principal?
I've been ignoring Candace, just like Mom said, so they'll stop bothering me.
That's never gonna work. They'll just keep getting bolder and…
Look, why do you have to butt your big nose into everything? You're not my mom.
Well, thank God for that, because you're a brat.
I was shocked at Karen's outburst because she usually never reacted. She left the room and I stormed off too. Spending a month in detention, I got introduced to a whole new crowd of kids, and a senior named Chad seemed to take a special interest in me. He was pretty popular in school, and I felt flattered when he asked me out.
Chad's in my class, and he's trouble. Just stay away from him.
He seems perfectly nice to me, and just back off, dude. Unlike Roma, Mom was happy to hear I had a boyfriend, and it didn't hurt that Candace looked like she'd eaten lemons every time she saw me and Chad together. Soon after, Chad invited me to an exclusive party in the school gym on Saturday night. Luckily, Dad was out of town with Roma that week, and I didn't expect Karen to check up on me, so I sneaked out easily. Candace was invited too, but I ignored her as I danced away with Chad. I excused myself to the bathroom, but moments later, I heard the lock click. Hey, who is that? I'm in here. Oh, I know. See you Monday. I kept banging on the door, but no one came. I'd even left my bag in the gym with my phone inside. I tried climbing out the bathroom window, but I slipped and hurt my ankle. It seems like hours had passed when the door was finally opened by Karen.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Karen immediately took me to the hospital and had my ankle bandaged up. How did you know where I was?
I came to your room and found you gone. And when you didn't come back hours later, I opened your laptop and saw some pictures Chad had posted on Facebook. By the time I got to school, the place was empty. I can't believe Chad didn't even look for you and just left.
That was a very low move.
Look, Leela, I'm sorry for calling you a brat. I know I've been a huge adjustment for you, but don't let your anger make decisions that'll hurt you. You deserve so much better than Chad, and you don't have to put up with Candace. We can talk to the principal about this if you want. Whatever you decide, I'm here for you, and I'll never try to replace your mom.
Thank you, Karen. It turned out that everyone at the party had later ruined the school hallways with spray paint and had been caught on the security cameras, so they were all suspended for 3 weeks. And while Dad and Roma were still away, Karen and I started to bond. She was smart and funny, and I found myself enjoying her company. She often did these thoughtful little things that made me warm up to her. But when I told Mom everything, she flipped out. So, you and Karen are BFFs now. Don't you want me to come home? I do want to see you, Mom, but Dad loves Karen now, and maybe it's better this way.
It's better? So you've just replaced me?
No, I could never replace you.
Karen's your hero now, and I'm just nobody.
Well, at least Karen is here for me. Sometimes I think you just keep lying about being in some center. It's been more than 2 years. Mom, are you in jail?
Now I'm a liar? Wow, what an ungrateful brat.
Listening to your nonstop whining. You're not even that special, Leela. You're being horrible, Mom, and I don't want to talk to you. I felt too angry to call her the next few weeks, and she didn't either. But things at home felt good, and the four of us even had some fun together. And when Chad returned to school, I broke up with him.
Why are you being such a baby? I thought you'd gotten bored at the party and gone home. Listen, you're just a loser. You can't break up with me.
Hey, let go! Suddenly, someone punched him, and before I knew it, Roma was attacking Chad. He ended up in the hospital with a concussion, and Roma was charged with assault. No, please, he was just defending me. He thought Chad was hurting me. But the officers wouldn't listen to a word. Karen and Dad weren't home, and I called them to come quickly. While I waited for them, I felt like I needed to tell Mom everything. I called and called, but she wouldn't pick up. Had something happened to her? But my last words were so mean. I called again frantically, feeling panicked, and then I blacked out. I woke up later in a hospital with Dad and Karen by me. Everything came rushing back, and I started to cry. Mom's not coming back, is she?
Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry. After your mom had an accident on her way to Seattle and ended up in a coma, you started having blackouts. And sometime later, you invented this story about Mom being in the center, and you started talking to her on the phone. It was your coping mechanism, and we just had to wait for you to heal on your own.
I realized that my fear of facing the bullies or my guilt at letting Karen replace Mom was all coming from me. Mom was just my own inner voice. What about Roma?
He'll be doing community service for the next 6 months.
Dad, I'm so sorry for the way I've been acting. I've been angry and lonely, and I think that's why I made up those phone calls with Mom. But I don't feel so lonely lately. I think I'm ready to get help and try to move forward.
And we'll be with you every step of the way, love.